Minecraft's upcoming big new UI update. So this one, it takes us back to sometime in December, when inside of the actual game files for Minecraft Bedrock Edition, some brand new UIs were found. These UIs, I mean, take a look at them. The barrel, the shulker box, the chest, they're beautiful. Now, there are plenty of different changes here, changes of which we've talked about a whole lot before. But for a hot minute now, we've known that some things in the game are getting an update. And today, that UI update, apparently, it expands to everything, practically. Let's take a look at what that is, the recent preview, and a surprise brand new Minecraft update. Besties, it is update day, my dudes. Oh man, it always feels good to say that, even if the update is like small. Last week, it was Minecraft 1.21.60. Now get with the times. It's 1.21.61. So yesterday, a brand new hotfix update, or in other words, it's like a smaller patch update that's a little bit more urgent that is usually released a whole lot quicker in order to fix big problems with an update. Well, I was actually working on a funny video talking about this whole giant issue that the new update has that has to do with lecterns. You see, basically, lecterns were causing things like TNT to explode and trapdoors to open. You and I, the squad, if you will, we don't usually talk about hotfixes over here, but this one's kind of crazy. So, obviously, I'm in a world of post-update drop, which means, unfortunately, my vanilla non-preview game fully updated, so I will never be able to show this off to you. It's tragic. I never finished the video that I was working on, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But long story short, we have the lectern. The lectern is a beautiful block. We can put a book in it, controls villager workstations, and to not just any villager workstation, the librarian workstation, so, like, pretty crucial inside of different farms. If you were into, say, maybe building those super condensed villager trading halls with, like, trapdoors maybe trapping villagers in, and you had a lectern, well, unfortunately, the lectern was actually receiving random tick updates in 1.21.60. Now, random tick updates is essentially kind of like a redstone thing. Another great way to explain this thing is with TNT. Well, for TNT, when I place it down for it to explode, you kind of have to, like, interact with it, or in a sense, you have to tick the TNT to, like, you know, properly ignite it. Let's say we had a block placed down and that block received random ticks. Like, at random, it just receives a tiny bit of redstone power and then unpowers. Well, that right there is the problem. Lecterns at random receiving redstone ticks could cause them to be able to, say, open trapdoors, power copper bulbs, or maybe even ignite TNT. Wait, hold on a minute. Did Bedrock Edition fix villagers? Oh, no, never mind. They have jobs when I spawn them still. But wait a second. They actually don't need beds to be able to reclaim the jobs now. For the longest time, if you spawned a villager and wanted to pick a different job, you needed a bed. What? When was that change made? Oh, that's insane. Game rule, keep inventory. Tragically, the devs were doing some fascinating difficulty experiments and they're done. So honestly, this was really, really cool. The game rule, keep inventory. For peaceful difficulty, basically this game rule would have been turned on, which means eternally, no matter what happens to you on peaceful difficulty, keep inventory was on. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of crazy that hasn't been the case, because that totally feels like a peaceful feature. Now, I can understand it, easy mode, that's a little bit more controversial. Should it be on, should it not be on? I don't know, debatable. But according to the devs, no, it isn't. So not only did they kind of just, like, basically straight up ghost remove it inside of 1.21.70.23, the preview from the other week, but inside of this new hotfix for Minecraft Bedrock Edition, keep inventory is also back to being a cheat on every single difficulty. For our newest update, alongside that keep inventory tragic adjustment and the fire lectern fix, well, this is about it. I don't usually talk about hotfix updates over here, but that lectern one, it was genuinely pretty crazy. Minecraft Spring Update, it continues, apparently, 1.21.70.24. A new preview dropped. Now, I'm going to be honest here. This preview from yesterday, it's not exactly the same as the Java snapshot, but pretty much all of the largest features, well, those are identical. Spawn eggs, oh my gosh, you take a look at all of them, they are beautiful. This new aesthetic is fire, it's off the charts, I love it, it's wonderful. This also means things like leaf litter. We've got brand new colors and new gradients. Alongside those colors, might be a little hard to see here, wasn't hard to see in the snapshot video when we checked it out, but wow, they adjust to gradients. And of course, our dear friend Doggo. Alright, that's awkward. Allegedly, they've got new sounds. It's a speed run through them all. If you'd like to see even more on all of those brand new updates, check out yesterday's snapshot video, because seriously, they're like basically the same. Instead here today, I'd like to focus on some of the differences. So thing number one, of course, the creative inventory is completely different than Java editions, but I found this down here. Mob eggs, the spawn egg category, instead of being marked by the creeper egg, which I think should maybe be the case, I mean, we have a chicken egg down there. Nitpicking, tiny details, sure, whatever. But I just thought it was weird. And while we're at it here, why do we have the egg, the brown egg, and then the blue egg? Shouldn't this all be behind one toggle like the mushrooms? No? Now, it's crazy. The technical changes that have been techified over the past couple of weeks inside of the previews, I mean, we haven't talked about them too much, but they're here, and they're big. One of the most beautiful, powerful ones here has to do with blocks. Tint method is a string field that multiplies the face color of a tint computer with the biome the block is in. This change right here, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Let's say you're an add-on creator and you'd like to be able to do like that cool grass block thing. Did the tint even work there? You're working on making some custom blocks for your brand new Minecraft to drop. Maybe inside of these new custom blocks for your drop thing, you want to have like a different tree type and you'd love to have the leaves change color gradient from biome to biome. Maybe you've got a new grass block, you want to do something like that, or finally, at last, you're doing the job for the devs themselves. You've added a custom fletching table, and at that, you want that fletching table to change gradient. Well, now you can. I mean, look, with literally every update, the devs are expanding functionality and capabilities for modding the game over here on Bedrock, and this is a pretty big one. We've also got a brand new component that has been enabled, which is, to be honest, kind of sus to me. Added Minecraft input air controlled component that enables controlling flying rideables. No. Yo, hold on just a minute here. Flying rideables. Are there any flying rideables in vanilla Minecraft right now? Look, it could be literally nothing. It's just a new capability for your cool add-on that adds airplanes to the game or whatever, but it's just weird that this is an interesting component. I wonder if we'll ever see this component actually used in vanilla Minecraft. Minecraft's new pause screen allegedly was meant to be included in 1.21.60. Last minute, it did not make the cut. Inside of this preview, we could see maybe a little taste as to why it didn't make the cut. So check this out. Right here, I've got a bunch of animated blocks. Prismarine, it's got that slow gradient thing. We have the particles from the firefly bush below the ground, spore blossom in the air. We've got burning fire, lanterns that change, campfires, everything. Pausing the game. Particles, the animations, they actually pause now. Up until this moment in time, the pause screen that actually did not affect any animations at all. That means if you had Spore Blossom Fireflies, they would like still bounce around inside of the game, even though the game was paused. This is such a small thing, like it really literally affects nothing. It doesn't hurt the game if the fire is animated while it's paused. But here, we can start to see maybe why they cut the pause screen from 1.21.60 at the literal last moment. It's not very often that you see a feature being completely pulled out of an update. So the sheep update, we talked all about it inside of the Java snapshot video, like right near the beginning. One of the first things we talked about this week. Basically, the devs have changed their mind. The colorful sheep, they will no longer spawn in the wild. Well, and this seems to be a pretty big focus of the Minecraft drop, so it's going to be very crucial that this behaves exactly the same on both versions of the game. But I mean, look, I didn't even need to spawn one in. You can see right there on Bedrock Edition, strangely enough, the colorful sheep are still spawning. But the weird thing that seems to have happened here is, alongside the colorful sheep in these biomes, I've also seen the other colors, like dark gray. Did you actually even spawn inside of the savannah in the week before? So on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, for at least another week, we've got colorful sheep spawning across the Minecraft world. Where this will be most apparent is inside of warm biomes, of course, and also inside of cold biomes. And so we still have, obviously here, you can see the black sheep being the most common, but inside of cold biomes, we've still got our blue sheep spawning as well. Blue, cyan, light blue. I'm sure this is maybe just a case of Minecraft Bedrock being a little bit behind in Java Edition or something. Just thought it was a little bit interesting and figured I should point it out. The UI update, Bedrock Edition, in my opinion, it's beautiful. I mean, I love these clean new Aura UI screens. Well, today, a new code diver enters the stage. Wild Gamer. This has been a minute. Inside of the 1.21.70.24 beta, a bunch of brand new icons were found. So these icons right here, they're all going to resemble something that is actually in-game. Be it a mob head, the conduit, a banner, a person head, a different mob head, the ender dragon head, a pot, a skeletor, wither skeleton, a zombie, and weird green blob. So where these new UI icons will actually pop up, right now that's anyone's guess, we don't know. My first instinct was to say, maybe the creative inventory, after all, this is all like a little bit different and kind of dated, but I don't know, probably not. But it does make me wonder, I mean, these mob heads do look a little bit different on Bedrock. Are we maybe due in for a parody update? The pot right here as well, I mean, it just has some interesting different lighting. It always stands out. I don't know. But alongside those interesting new UI icons, crazy updates for literally everything in the game. Here are some new screens that appear to be in early development for Aura UI. This is the UI update. The anvil, the smithing table, the brewing stand, the recipe book, enchanting table, furnace, horse screen, grindstone, cartography table, crafter, and more. That's literally everything. And then right here, we'll be able to see what is, I believe, a bunch of updated code for new UIs that have been changed inside of this preview. This is insane. This is every single like thing in the entire game. I mean, the cartography table, I see the lube in here, the furnace, the smoker, trading things, the smithing table, like literally everything. That whole list that I just fired off, everything. There's code changed for everything. The devs are redoing, well, everything, have I told you, when it comes to UI. The beacon as well, like, wow. I mean, look, I guess it could have been presumed that if the devs were going to update, say, these different UIs here, then maybe they would update the other UIs as well. But I believe this is our first direct confirmation that yes. Yeah, even something like the brewing stand, it's so dusty, the devs never want to touch it. Well, yeah, it's getting a brand new UI. Now, I've done my best at looking into the files myself as well, and as far as I can tell, there aren't any images or anything that we could pull that are like textures to kind of recreate these new UIs quite yet, but tab like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Now, pretty much the final thing that I'd like to talk about today is actually a change that spills over from last week's preview. It involves the cactus flower, because the cactus flower, with this little flower, was significantly different on either version of the game. And so change number 1, now the cactus flower can be placed on just about any block that it can be placed on Java Edition. This even goes for one of my favorite new little build hacks inside of this update, the decorated pot. You can place this thing right on top of it, and there you go, you got the flower in the pot. Our other change here has to do with when this flower will grow and won't grow. So here, you can see I have a flower that grew, but more importantly, I have a super tiny little cactus farm. If I go ahead and game rule, random tick speed 3000, speed it up quite a bit here, we see that these cacti, they all grow up, and as long as there is a block next to the cactus, a flower will never grow. Meanwhile, if there isn't a block next to a cactus, like let's say right here, the flower can grow. If you're having a bit of deja vu, that's probably because you saw my Java video on this change. Basically, on Bedrock, they changed the mechanics and made them exactly like Java. So friends, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for all the love, thanks for watching. It's been me, Waddles. If you haven't yet, check out yesterday's snapshot, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.